You're listening to the Notorious VIPs, Voices Inspiring Progress, on Hawk Live Radio, the official radio station for Hillsborough College in Tampa, Florida. We're your host. I'm Jordan.
C. Lynn.
Talon.
And Prodigal.
Mark.
Welcome back to the show. Let's get into today's show with our first topic. C. Lynn, take it away.
Hey, everyone. This is C. Lynn giving you all things motivation. And I got a pretty good topic this morning since a couple of my co-hosts are joining in this life that I had. And just wanted to touch bases with you. This should be fun. Okay, my topic on the motivational side of the house is joining the U.S. military. I am retired Air Force, and it was one of, if not the singularly best decision I've ever made. I was a struggling college student, and I told myself I wasn't meant to struggle, meaning if you don't like your current situation, change it. So I did. 3 years at the high school and college, I took the leap and ended up serving for 22 years. Now I understand the military isn't for everyone. Yes, there is life out there outside the military, but for those who is looking for something different, something more, and feeling stuck, even those that's like in school, college, etc., you might want to try the military. It's not what you think, a hardcore or whore that you don't have a life. It gives you the opportunity to have another life. That's all. One of the instant benefits, whether it's Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, even the Coast Guard, we all have the same mission, but execute the same mission differently. 4 of my co-hosts are prior military with different experiences and knowledge. This is going to be fun with, a little friendly hazing. Like I said, I realize the military isn't for everyone. I'm no recruiter, though. I feel like one from time to time, but it is good. It was a good ride and experience for me. So I would like to take a few minutes to talk about the benefits of enlisting. Now, some of the top reasons for people, like I said, you get stuck and you want to try something new. But, some of the top reasons for joining is personal growth, job training and career skills, educational benefits, financial stability, leadership opportunity, adventure and traveled. I traveled all over the country. I've traveled in 36 of the 50 states. I'm sure my co-hosts have been many places that I haven't been. On the government's dime, service and purpose, veteran support after their service, So a couple of things you should consider first. It's a commitment, before signing that contract, it's often 4 to 6 years. It's going to be physical and mental demands, and it can be high deployment. You can't get away from it. If you're not going, somebody else is. So it's always one of those things that come with the job. And all deployments don't necessarily have to be in a hostile territory. You could have great deployments also, just to get the experience. So you have to ask yourself, do you want structure? Do you want to have a career for education and stability? And am I mentally and physically ready, for the challenge? So, I just have to talk to some of my co-hosts. You got, Jordan,
Yes. Yes, prior United States Marine Corps, Marine always, Ira.
Of course.
And just to piggyback off a couple things with you, C. Lynn, definitely speaking on the deployment side of things, not all deployments are outrageously, out of this world. There are some that you call vacay deployments, and you're going to go see some amazing places that are absolutely amazing. And you get to spend it with great people, and that's the things that you take into consideration when you join in the service. Everybody, you sign that contract, you're signing away your rights, but don't see it as a negative, see it as a positive, because you're fighting for everything that Americans have today,
Absolutely.
the freedoms and everything that's accessible.
Absolutely.
And my experience was a little bit different. I joined the Army National Guard, and so I actually had the opportunity to be in school full time while also serving and doing weekend drill and going away for training over the summer. So it wasn't necessarily me giving my absolute time and dedication, not in a bad way, to the military, but I was still able to kind of have a work-life balance, a school-life balance, if you will. So there are plenty of options for people to be able to still serve their country and do what it is they want to do in midst of being able to pursue a degree or still be a part of the workforce if they wish.
Okay. And prodigal, I know that you're not prior military, but if you had the chance to go into one, which one would you go into and why?
Me, honestly, I would go into the Marines only because my dad can't stop talking about it. I would say the Marines, most definitely. And as far as my family is mostly Army. So a lot of my grandparents are Army, my cousins are Army. So it's going to be clashing. It's going to be a lot of clashing, but mostly Marines, hands down.
Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with each branch. Like I said, we all serve the same mission, but execute it differently, and we all have a blast, and there are pros and cons in each one of them. And I just like to get into some fun facts about each branch. If anyone out there is serious about joining, do your research on each one and see which one fits your quality of life, and see a recruiter. Actually, definitely go talk to a recruiter. Let's get in some fun facts about the Army. It is the oldest military branch. It was established in June 14, 1775. Before the United States officially became a country. It's the biggest U.S. military branch. It has over 450,000 active duty soldiers. It's not all soldiers fight. Only a few. They have a bunch of combat roles. Let's see. Green Berets and Rangers are Army, So different fun facts if you didn't know. The first to use helicopters in combat was the Army. So, I've had my experience with the Army and deploying, and definitely it's a whole nother world from the Air Force, but they all are great people, and I got friends from all over branches, every branch, and we all have a good time. So, I can go on to, of course, my branch, some fun facts about us. We're the youngest military branch since 1947. We are more than just pilots. A lot of people ask me, they're like, I want to join the Air Force, but I don't want to fly a plane. And I'm like, you won't. You have to be a pilot. You have to have education to fly a plane. You have the degrees and pilot licenses to fly a plane. Not everybody that joined the Air Force flies a plane. Our role and mission is to make sure that plane get off the ground by way of medical, financial, personnel records, everything that comes with making sure that plane get off the ground. And that's one of our core attributes as far as the Air Force is concerned. I loved my time. It was a ride. I mean, we are more than just pilots. We are the only military branch to actually have a community college. And so we have something called the Community College of the Air Force, where you can earn an associate's degree there. We operate in space, of course. Of course, we got top-notch tech, and they like to go back and forth to the Navy, who has more planes, but technically, actually, the Air Force has more planes than the Navy, but they are the second largest fleet behind us. If you ever heard of the Thunderbirds, we are the home of the Thunderbirds. So, and then we're the first military branch to open all roles to women. And so that was a good fun fact to find out. So, global reach, global power is one of our thoughts. So if you ever want to join, go see a recruiter. I mean, it's not a bad life. People think it's back in the day you're running in jungles and, and you jump across. That's not the case. It has advanced so far, and it's technical. I've known situations where there are fields and there are tent cities, and they're operating drones in these places across the water. None of this information is classified. It's all Google, but you can actually know that you could be sitting somewhere in the middle of a desert somewhere in the States and operating aircraft overseas. So it's not a bad place to start. You don't have to finish there. You can start there. So, just food for thought on that. And to do a little zoom, we got the Navy. I don't have any Navy people in the room, but back to they said the Navy is the second largest fleet than the Air Force with aircraft. They got plenty of aircraft and they got carriers. The water. The Navy has its own forest, which was definitely different for me to know. And they're the home of the Blue Angels. They have the Blue Angels. Let's see.
The Navy definitely has two sides. If you guys did not know, you have green side and blue side. Your green side is going to be stateside with the United States Marines. As you know, the Marines are a department of the Navy. So it's a great thing. But
that's right.
Yes.
Y'all are cousins. Look at her coming in for the cruise. Don't start changing Navy over here.
And blue side is maritime.
Thank you for that, though. Seriously,
You're welcome. Yeah. You're welcome. So you'll probably be on ship.
Yeah, definitely. And so we got the one more branch. The few. The proud, I think she's going to speak up right here.
They say they save the best for last, everybody.
Marines, let me tell you, hands down. I always admired the Marines because they had the best uniforms and they could wear them well. And they always looked good, always represented, the most professional looking of the branches, just to be honest. They do their thing. And so one thing that I didn't know, this was interesting. They were founded in a bar. I mean,
yes.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. In November 1775, at a
Tons Tavern. Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yes, founded in Tons Tavern. Actually, a few of my friends actually just recently got together and they went down there to celebrate. They said that it's one of those things that you have to just visit once in a lifetime because it actually got shut down for a few years and it was just for some remodeling, thank Jesus. And it just has a lot of homage and a lot of, how do you say it, when you pay homage to an institution, but it's more than that. It's part of the country. It's part of the Marine Corps' values. It's part of the, honor, commitment, all of those things that it encompasses. And it's actually part of a ditty when you're in the military. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but when you're in boot camp, you get these things called ditties, okay? And they help you remember stuff. And you kind of got to scream them at the top of your lungs, okay? And the one I remember is Tun Tavern, 1775. Like, you have to scream it.
Okay, well, see, look, we got an expert in the room. I do know that you guys got the oldest uniform, and you're the first to fight. So I just, they say once a Marine, always a Marine, and definitely Jordan tells us and shows us that every day with her professionalism. So thank you for that. And that's pretty much it. I'm just going to wrap it up with the military. So see a recruiter, it's not the end, and make sure you guys look for more. There's always more out there, so it's never the end. Always try something. It's not where you started, it's where you finish. And take the benefits that come with it. Well, so with that, I am done.
Thank you, Celine, for sharing that. All that information was extremely helpful. And just to piggyback off what Celine had brought to you guys today, go ahead down there and check out a recruiter's office. It could be anyone you choose. Don't feel pressured, but just understand that there's a lot of benefits that comes with it. Coming up in the next segment, Prodigal will be discussing her segment on hot TV and cinema. But before we get into that, it's time to take another break with some more great music. Our next song we're going to play for you is Just Kicking It by Escape. Enjoy and be right back. Again, you're listening to the Notorious VIP Voices Inspiring Progress on Hawk Radio Live, the official radio station for Hillsborough College here in Tampa, Florida. Again, we're your hosts. I'm Jordan.
See, Lynn.
Talon.
And Prodigal.
Prodigal, take it away.
What's up, everybody? This is your girl Prodigal, and I'm coming to you with hot cinema and TV. So I'm a 90s baby. I was born in 1997, and I grew up on shows like The Big Humpty Couch, Dragon Tales, Sesame Street. The list goes on. So basically when I was in high school, I was deep into That's So Raven, and I'm not gonna lie, I still watch that. SpongeBob, High School Musical, Cheetah Girls. Again, don't judge me. I still watch it. So that is my first thing that when I wake up, that is my show that I go to is SpongeBob. So that is definitely my to go to. I remember when I was younger, and this is around the time when school just started. So it was when I want to say I was 6 years old. I was 6 years old. And I remember when my mom used to always hide the remote because I would sneak into the living room and watch TV. And she's like, why are you always in the living room? And then I'm like, well, I'm watching TV. And so she would hide the remote. And so movies and cinema, it was always my entire life. I remember growing up that I wanted to become a director. And so that's why it landed me into radio and television as of now. And I'm not going to lie, TV is not the same anymore. Some movies, they hit the box office and they make good profit. And then some of them you're like, okay, yeah, they basically just put all the movies together and just filmed it at the last minute. And so I went online and I looked at the top TV shows and TV series to watch. And it was interesting because on Rotten Tomatoes, they made an article and it's called Rotten's Best TV Shows of 2025, New Series to Watch Now. And actually Pee-wee Herman was number one on the list, and it shows on HBO Max, and they received positive reviews from top critics. And I also watched the older version of the show and the movie, and I put two and two together. And it was interesting because growing up, I'm not going to lie, Pee-wee Herman, it didn't make sense to me. So when I looked deep into it and I searched it up and I looked it up, like what message was he trying to give us as viewers, I didn't know that he was just actually encouraging us to dwell into your creativity and to put diversity in instead of putting yourself in a box. So to look at that, I was like, and I was like, okay, well, I'm a writer and we crave more diversity and we crave more ideas. So it was really cool to see that he's supporting us as writers. And even though we are overlooked because of how diverse we are, he's still saying, no, continue, like, let your ideas shine. And then another article that I looked up was on IndieWire.com, and it was published by an article by David Ulrich. And it was written in September. He stated the best movies new to every major streaming platform was Highest to Lowest. And it starred Denzel Washington, A$AP Rocky, and actually Ice Spice. I did not know Ice Spice could act. So I said, okay, so let me go online. Let me look. I looked at like 5 minutes of the clip, and another movie that was definitely made to get your thoughts rolling. It was about a powerful music mogul who was targeted by a ransom plot, and he is forced to fight for his family and legacy while jammed up in a life or death dilemma. So to see Denzel play another role, which is the king of all actors, he's the king. It was a great film, and the first 5 minutes, I said, okay, I have to finish it, and so I did. Top. It was great. It was excellent. And another one of my favorite Denzel movies is Fences with Viola Davis. I love God. I love it. Love it. And that, Preacher's Wife. What's another one? John Q.
Okay.
So
like
yes,
that too.
yep. See,
Yeah, that was a good one.
classics. So if you were to ask me my top 5 sitcoms and movies, I wrote them down. So Martin, that is my number 1. Going back, That's So Raven, SpongeBob. I am a huge reality head, so I'm just going to say Basketball Wives and Housewives of Atlanta. I love me some Nene Leakes. Shout out to Nene. I have a mixture of Disney shows. So Chalk Zone, Codename Kids Next Door, Bob the Barbarian. You have Zach and Cody. I even watched 227 with my grandma. Golden Girls. Way back. The Jeffersons. What's another one? Crooklyn.
Good Times.
Good times. All that. What's Happening?
Okay.
Yes. So I am all around TV and movie person. And then my top movies is Creed. I love all the sequels. I am a big major Creed fan. I love Hocus Pocus. I love yes. Maleficent 1 and 2.
I'm sorry. Can we pause?
Yes.
I'm
Speak
so
on it,
sorry.
girl. Speak on
Because
it.
I love Angelina Jolie. Okay, I'm talking about it's really hard to see some of your favorite actors and actresses aging as time goes on, especially when you grew up on them.
Right.
And I love Angelina Jolie. I've loved her since the Tomb Raider. I don't know if
See?
you guys have
Yep.
seen that.
Yep.
But oh my gosh, she was like action packed, filled with just, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just amazing. She's very captivating. And it's not just her looks, it's the way she acts. She's definitely one of those, how do you say, one of those actors who gets in there.
Very versatile.
And just embodies the character.
Yep.
I love that.
Have you seen Salt?
Yes, I
Oh,
have.
I love Salt.
Yes, I
love
have.
Salt. Absolutely.
That's a great film.
Yes. So it's amazing to see the versatile styles of these different actors and actresses. I don't have a favorite. I don't. It's too many classics. So one of the top classics for me is The Preacher's Wife with Denzel Washington and Whitney Houston. I know the whole album. Oh my gosh, it's a classic for me. And then you have to talk about Tyler Perry, his movies and plays. The last one that he made was the Medea one with the Final Destination one, the Final Wedding. And that was on Netflix. I really enjoyed that one. And then the Divorce in Black. Okay. That was good too. Queensman, hands down. I love me some Queensman. Okay. So, what about you guys? What's your top favorite?
Oh my goodness. When it comes to sitcoms, Good Times, I got the whole series. I love Good Times. Top movie, I love Rocky.
Okay.
I like the Predator series.
Yeah.
I'm not getting to things. Preacher's Wife is one of my favorites, but my all-time favorite movie is The Color Purple.
Oh, that's a good one.
Now, the musical or the original? Okay.
Original movie.
Yes.
No, we ain't gonna downplay the musical because the musical.
I want to say because the musical was. I shed a couple tears in that one.
I want to go home.
So when it comes to hot cinema and TV, it's a very broad topic. It's nothing to talk about that's narrow. And then for me, it hits home because I do want to own my own studio as far as movies, and I'm just really passionate about it. And so for this segment, guys, I have given you about hot cinema and TV. Again, this is your girl Particle, and you are listening to Hawk Live Radio, the official radio station for Hillsborough College in Tampa, Florida. Coming up in the next segment,
Talent will be taking all things community and culture with Deeply Rooted. He'll recap last week's Hispanic Heritage Month event hosted by SGA. But before we get into that, it's time to take another break. Our next song honors Hispanic Heritage Month. So let's go ahead and get that queued up for you guys. That's going to be Loca by Shakira. Enjoy. Okay, that was Loca by Shakira. Again, you're listening to the Notorious VIPs, Voices Inspiring Progress on Hawk Radio Live, the official radio station for Hillsborough College here in Tampa, Florida. Again, we're your hosts. I'm Jordan.
C. Lynn.
Talon.
Prodigal.
Mark.
And I hope you're enjoying the show. So please, Talon, take it away.
All righty. Hey, folks, Talon here, and it's time for Deeply Rooted, all things culture and community here at Hillsborough College and in your neighborhood. Let's get right to it with the weekly rundown. As I will do every week, we'll go over the weekly campus calendar. But before I do that, I have to shout out SGA, our Student Government Association. I told you guys last time, anytime there's a campus event with food, I will be there, and yesterday was another testament to that. SGA kicked off Hispanic Heritage Month with a celebration worth remembering. The music was bumping and the vibes were there, but for me, most importantly, they had the eats. SGA was giving out Chipotle bowls and cookies, and they also had a vendor come in that served fresh arepas. It was crispy, it was cheesy, and it was delicious. That was just the kickoff for what will be a month-long celebration, so be sure to follow SGA on Instagram for more Hispanic Heritage Month events. I have one question for you all. Did you know SGA had a food pantry?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
I did, yeah.
Nice. That's right. Every week on Monday through Thursday, SGA hosts a food pantry. I personally am a weekly regular, so I can attest that it's worth checking out. The pantry offers free food items for students, faculty, and staff. It's located on the first floor of the Ebor building in the Ebor room, room 112. The pantry's operating hours do vary, so check your Hawkmail for specific times. You can find it by searching Food Pantry in your email. This past weekend, I actually made a cake with the items I got from the pantry.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, I seen the pantry. I didn't know they had a pantry over at the Brandon campus. And I was walking by, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what's this? And it was very nice to see the school giving back to students, mothers, people that fall on hard times. And they had food, they had Pampers, they had everything in there. And I thought that was super, super excellent to support, the students of the school that may need things and they can go in there. So I definitely I was surprised. And they were stocking it.
Yeah.
When I was walking by, actually, they were stocking it. So that's excellent shout out, for people to know that they have one.
And I leave out there with bags. I had to ask. I was like, am I allowed to come back weekly? Because I don't mind taking advantage. So she was like, yeah, absolutely. And like I mentioned, I made a whole cake with the items I got from last week's shop. And speaking of cake, happy birthday to all who celebrate this month. Spend your celebration of life at the September birthday celebration in the lobby of the Ybor building, happening today at noon. If you're listening with us live and are celebrating another year around the sun, be sure to join the festivities at the end of this show in the Ybor building. Speaking of September birthdays, special shout out to my mom. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Also happening today, we've got Crochet and Conversations. They welcome all skill levels and even offer supplies for those looking to pick up the hobby. That's happening in the YFAC building, room 229. Again, that's today and every Tuesday from 3 to 4 p.m. Continuing with the weekly rundown, tomorrow, Wednesday the 17th, SGA is hosting its general body meeting. It will be in the YFAC building, room 114 at 3:15 p.m. Can't make it in person? Not to worry. The meeting will be accessible via Microsoft Teams. The link for that and for the opportunity to be added to the agenda will be found in this week's weekly email. You can find it by searching SGA General Body Meeting in your Hawkmail. And last, but certainly not least for the weekly rundown, on Thursday the 18th, students and staff and faculty are invited to the Community Healing Drum Circle. Did you know drumming is linked to enhancing mental health, reducing stress, and promoting physical well-being? No drumming experience is necessary, and if you've got one, bring your own, but percussion instruments are available for use on a first-come, first-served basis. That's happening in the YCDC building in the second floor dance studio. Don't meet me there, beat me there. You like what I did there?
Yeah.
Beat me there, drum circle. That's my dad joke of the week, folks. Alrighty, it does look like I have a few more moments left in this segment, so I wanted to take a moment to play a little game with you all. Is that okay?
Sure.
Of course.
Perfect. Alrighty. Welcome to the first installment of This or That Hispanic Heritage Month edition. This or that is easy. You've got two choices. All you have to do is pick one. No overthinking allowed. This week's game is all about celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Ready.
Great. There's no wrong answers. Just blurt out your answer as soon as it comes to mind. I'll put 30 seconds on the clock here. Let's see. Let's get it up. And let's see how many rounds we can get through. First one is going to be about food. Tacos or empanadas?
Tacos.
Oh, wow.
Churros or flan?
Churros.
Okay. Guacamole or salsa?
Salsa.
Dang.
Rice or beans?
Okay. Wait a minute. You got to get both. You got to have both.
Gotta get both. That was a trick question. Okay, Prodigal, I see you. Tamales or enchiladas?
Enchiladas.
Quesadillas or nachos?
Quesadillas.
All right, I'm getting a little too hungry, so let's get off the food segment here. All right, let's get into some music. Shakira or Bad Bunny?
Shakira.
That one's a tough one for me. Bad Bunny actually just ended the start of his world tour in Puerto Rico. It actually brought millions in tourism. Puerto Rico's a beautiful place, but Shakira, those hips don't lie. I'm a huge Shakira fan, so it's a mix between both for me there.
I try it all the time. I just
can't get it right. You cannot get it right.
Something don't work. Yeah.
Ricky Martin or J Balvin?
Ricky Martin.
Yes, he just performed recently at the VMAs. That was a really good performance. Mariachi or reggaeton?
Reggaeton.
Salsa dancing or merengue dancing?
Salsa.
Okay. And then last but not least, Day of the Dead or Cinco de Mayo? Or Cinco de Drinko, they call it, right?
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I take that back. Day of the Dead. Only because of Coco.
Okay,
Another movie
okay,
called-
good
See?
shout out there.
All
See,
right,
okay,
see?
with our TV,
Okay.
cinema, and film, I like that. Nice. That was a fun way to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month and to see what we vibe with most: food, music, and family. It's all about the culture. I want to thank my co-host and all that are listening for playing. That was this week's Deeply Rooted, all things culture and community here at Hillsborough College and in your neighborhood. Catch me next week for the weekly rundown and maybe another game. Back to you, Jordan.
Thank you so much, Talon. I absolutely loved your segment. It was very inviting and definitely paying homage to Hispanic Heritage Month. Coming up in the next segment, I'll be talking all things mental health, understanding, and nurturing well-being. But before we get into that, it's time to take another break with some more great music. Our next song we're going to be playing for you is Rise Up by Andra Day. Enjoy and be right back. And welcome back, everyone. Again, you're listening to the Notorious VIPs, Voices Inspiring Progress on Hawk Live Radio, the official radio station for Hillsborough College here in Tampa, Florida. Again, we're your hosts. I'm Jordan.
See, Lan.
Talon.
Mark.
And Prodigal.
And I hope you guys are enjoying the show. So that was Andrea Day with the uplifting jam, Rise Up. So again, here we are. We're going to be jumping off with mental health, understanding, and nurturing well-being. So mental health is a crucial aspect of our overall well-being, influencing how we think, how we feel, and act in our daily lives. It also affects how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Last week, we did speak on how we handle stress in certain situations. But there's a lot of things that we have that involve mental health, and I really just want to hear some of you guys' takes on how you feel about it. Mark, why is mental health so important to you?
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Mark. I'm an Army guy, and I'm real. Wow, how can I say? I'm nervous about being on this radio, but mental health, man. You need to take care of that out here, and I can just tell you about me. Man, life be life, and it's rough some days, and I did a lot, went through a lot, and I really wasn't a nice person, and I think what changed my life, man, is just I start looking for better things. It wasn't about religion or anything, not knocking that, but it was just thinking good and putting myself around great people. And then it was like the laws of attraction. And for me, it was just like basically what you feel now, you will attract later.
Right. What you put out there is what you're
Yes,
getting
ma'am.
back. So it's all positivity.
Yes, ma'am. So once I put that in my life, it was like, whoa, it was like, other than the birth of my two kids and meeting my wife, it was like the best thing in life. And it, like, my whole life did a 360. And from that day forth, that's what I try to be on. Even though I know we all go through our days, our highs and lows, I always try to, be good or leave someone with a great attitude and pay it forward. And that's basically it, man, because life is hard out here, and you never know what the next individual is going through.
Mm-hmm.
So I just try to take a moment of consideration.
Oh, yes.
And that's about it, fam.
Okay.
I'm easy going.
No, thank you, Mark, for your input. That was actually very enlightening, because I just wanted to touch on, the importance of safe spaces. I think safe spaces are environments where individuals can express themselves without fear, judgment, ridicule, or harm. And these spaces are essential for fostering mental health as they provide a sense of security and acceptance. Prodigal, do you have a safe space for when you're feeling overwhelmed?
I do actually. I am a church girl, so I tend to lean more to gospel when I am going through anything as far as struggling emotionally, and I try to read the Bible as well. And another sacred place that I hold dear is also, I'm not even gonna lie, the bathroom.
Yes.
I like to just sit in the bathroom, write out in my feelings in a journal, and I also like to take time just to take a walk too. So it's a lot, but mostly just church in the bathroom.
No, I can completely agree on that one. I like that. My safe space is the shower, believe it or not. I feel like it's something about water, it's just
Yes.
like purifying and like cleansing.
It is. It's true.
How about you, Celine? Do you have a special place in mind?
Yes, my safe place is actually sometimes, I like music. It's music can be therapy. And, sometimes when you play music from R&B, gospel, whatever just touches you at the moment, you can just lose yourself in that. You can just like blot everything out and just actually get intimate with your inner self, your inner feelings. Is it a positive song? Does it lift you up? Does it make you think about an old situation that you felt good about or places you've been and visited? So, yes, I definitely see that, safe places, and I agree, the shower. I like it hot, like steaming, and I can just sit in it, and it is so refreshing. And sometimes driving in your car just to get away from it and tune the noise out, go to a quiet place. But a safe place for me is actually coming one with my inner thoughts and my inner feelings and doing the opposite. So if I'm feeling stressed and aggravated and frustrated, I will find the opposite to make me feel different. Just a change of thought, like a good song, like the one you just played, I'll Rise Up. And it just inspires you to just like, man, let me move into another spot. So yes, those are my safe places.
Well, thank you for sharing that, all of you. It's very vulnerable to come on here, and I appreciate your honesty, because understanding mental health involves recognizing, the balance and interaction between emotional, physiological, and social factors. And the National Library of Medicine published an article by their Department of Psychiatry on mental health and prevention. So they had different ways to heal, and you guys actually covered quite a few of them before we got to them. We have therapy and counseling, we have physical activity, creative expression, listening to music, writing in journals, and it all comes together just to, even though there's different avenues for you to work on yourself and to heal and to build, just know that there are outlets out there. You don't have to stay within your own mind. And I know how hard that can be, especially being there myself and with my prior military experience. And, you know, some of my fellow veterans, they've been there as well. It's find those outlets. You have to get out there. Don't let that negativity eat at you. And some of the ways I go ahead and get out of the way, I'm really big into creativity. I love to write. I love to paint. I love to crochet. And I love to go on long walks with my dog. Oh, wait, sorry. Like I said,
The dog don't like
The dog don't
really
like
long.
But that was, you know, my mini segment on mental health, and it's an integral part of our lives. You know, taking steps to nurture it is essential for overall well-being. I really want everybody out there to remember healing is a journey, and seeking help or reaching out to others is a courageous step towards well-being. I look forward to seeing you guys and speaking with you guys next week, hitting another great topic. Again, you're listening to the Notorious VIPs, Voices Inspiring Progress on Hawk Live Radio, the official radio station for Hillsborough College here in Tampa, Florida. Again, we are your hosts. I'm Jordan.
See, Lynn.
Talon.
Mark.
And Prodigal.
And I hope you're enjoying the show. I will be playing a new song coming up. It's going to be I Lose Control by Teddy Swims. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you all for listening today. I hope you enjoyed the show and our time together. That was Teddy Swims, Lose Control. Again, you're listening to the Notorious VIPs, Voices Inspiring Progress with Jordan.
See, Lynn.
Talon.
Mark.
And Prodigal.
Every Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon, bringing you a variety of topics, uplifting vibes, and motivation to your day. Next week, we are going to be hitting some topics on relationships, weekly rundown, money matters, city hotspots, and entertainment. We will be diving back into the HCC weekly calendar, movie and sitcoms, and going to send you off with tunes from HC Radio. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Have a great
Bye.
week.
Have a great week, y'all.